Welcome to Sista-to-Sista, the podcast for women of color about women of color. Today's episode is Building Wealth Through Real Estate, your path to financial freedom. So, join us as we step into the real estate arena. Understand the power of real estate, understanding how real estate is used to build wealth, and let's start creating your path to your financial freedom. Come on in, let's get started. So, hello, and I have two amazing, dynamic sisters with me today. And we have Jessica Flanoy.
Hi.
And we have Camille Hurt. I knew I was going to do that. We have Camille Folston Hurt. So, welcome, ladies. It's so good to have y'all
it's so
here
good
today.
To be here.
Yes.
Absolutely.
I am so excited. I'm so excited. So, before we get started today, tell them a little bit about yourself or who you are for those that do not know you. And we'll start right here with Jessica.
Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Jessica Flanoy, and thank you so much, Karen, for allowing us to sit on your couch. We made it to the couch, y'all.
We made it to the couch.
But yeah, a little bit about me. My name is Jessica Flanoy. I was born and reared right here in Milledgeville. I have been in real estate probably a total of 10 or 11 years now, combined. Prior to real estate, I was in healthcare. I was a occupational therapy practitioner. I love working with the geriatric population. And after working with them for about 10 years, I wanted to transition to something new. And that's when I started in real estate. So I'm going in real estate, still have my hat in healthcare, and probably about 2 or 3 other things, but that's who I am, and I'm just glad to be here to contribute to the conversation with Camille also.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Camelia Hurt, and I'm a real estate professional here in Middle Georgia. I have been in real estate 5 years, and prior to real estate, I was also in a service industry. I was a 3rd grade teacher. So I was of service to the little people and now the big people. So and still educating. I truly have a heart of service, and I love what I do. So thank you for having me, Karen.
Well, you're welcome. So y'all see why I call these amazing sisters. And I want to say thank you guys for being here. And yes, we're going to be talking about real estate. And I know them. One I've known, oh my goodness, since she was little. And the other one, I had the pleasure of hearing this powerhouse speak.
Oh, my.
And I was like,
way too much pressure.
Like, is all of that coming from that teeny tiny little woman? And so that's why I say they're amazing. And I kind of knew, that you all's background prior to, and I just want to say that I'm so proud of you all. But we're going to talk about real estate.
Okay.
And being that you are in with real estate, I'm going to ask, the first question I'm going to ask is, what made you get into real estate?
That's a great question. I guess I have to start off. Coming out of the healthcare industry, when I moved back to Georgia, I knew I wanted to do something. And that's when I looked into real estate, particularly lending. I started off as a lender. And I'm glad I did, because one thing about us, we're talking about the African American community. When I started lending, Karen, it was a place, I found out it was so many people didn't know that they can be a homeowner. A lot of people that look like us, they thought it was so beyond their reach. So my goal was to put it on the level so they can reach it, and to go out and educate people on how do you get a home. You know, you look and see everybody else in all races, they build their foundation off of real estate.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
You can make a lot of money in real estate, and majority of all of the investors, millionaires, they have a real estate portfolio. But we, as in the African American community, we weren't privileged to learn about that. So when I first got in real estate, I was like, oh, it's so many people that look like us don't even know how to get a home. So I was like, you know what, Jessica, that's your duty, to make sure that everyone knows how to get a home. You may not get 2 or 3 houses, but you can absolutely get one. So that was my goal, to make sure I got out there and educated them on the process. And they thought it was way harder than what it actually is. Like, that's all you need to be on your job 2 years. And I'm like, Karen, we've been working our job 15 years.
Exactly.
But we didn't know
right,
that's all you need, a 2-year work history.
Right.
And people like, girl, I thought it was, you need this. No. I
right.
thought they text up 2 years on your job. We work 5 jobs. So we're overqualified. And my goal was to, I'm going to let you finish, but my goal was, when I first bought my first investment property, my brother, he taught me. I was nervous, just like that first time home buyer. I was nervous. And he said, Jessica, you've been working on your job, right? I said, yeah. He said, you got a little money in the bank. I said, I got $2. We can make a deal. Then he was like, your credit, how's your credit? I'm like, no, my credit is great. He said, that's all you need. We walked in the bank, Karen and Camille. The deal was done in about 5 minutes. And I said, was it that easy? But I had all of this fear that it wouldn't work out, that I was not the right candidate, like everything would go wrong when everything went right. So how my brother coached me, that's how I wanted to coach my clients. And I think I've done a good job, but somebody else will have to tell me that. I don't want to toot my own horn, but that was.
But you can toot your own horn.
She can,
yes.
And I'll toot it too, because we have helped so many families together. I would probably say we have helped well over 50 families together. Jessie on the lending side, me on the real estate side. Although now she is on the real estate side. So that's how we connected actually.
Yeah, and we worked together, and it was when we started off, Camille and myself, we actually held people hand.
Yes, we did.
We coached her from day 1 to day 30. And thank goodness, thank God, people successfully got their homes through coaching and the right education, and we put it on the level where they can get it. And that's something we're proud of, you know. If we don't sell another home or doing it, we've done our duty. We put our stamp in the sand. You get what I'm saying? So people, it's some homeowners, and they made it over.
3 seminars, we've had.
They made it over.
Absolutely.
I love it. Yes. And so, Camille, tell us how.
Okay. So how I got into real estate. This is a question I think about often, because it was like God planted the seed in my heart and on my mind.
That's good.
And I was teaching. I was happy being a teacher, but something was missing. So some kind of way, real estate was on my heart and mind, and I honestly don't know how it was planted there, but it was, and I went after it. And I was still teaching, and in my heart and mind, I was going to do both. I was going to teach and sell real estate on the side. However, it was 2020 and COVID set in. I was licensed. I was at home with a real estate license, teaching students from a computer, and it was horrible. And my kids were home with me. I was trying to teach like 30 plus kids on a laptop. Wow. And I was very overwhelmed. And I said, I will not be renewing my contract. I'm going to go into real estate full time. I'm going to step out on faith, because in the world of real estate, if you do not work, you do not eat. You cannot pay your bills.
Right.
So, we have to get up every day and go to work. But let me tell you how God worked it out. I received a check. I didn't renew my contract. School ended in May. I got paid up until September.
Wow.
Through the school district. I had savings, so I was okay. I didn't just step out and just with $2 literally.
Done.
So it worked out. That's how I got into real estate. Something was planted on my mind and my heart, and I just went for it. That's and I am at a stage in my life where when something is on my mind heavy or on my heart, I go for it. I trust it.
Yeah.
Well, pursue
That's
it.
good.
Absolutely.
And the reason I wanted to do this and especially speak, you know, with you ladies about it, because we do know, or I should say, I do know that real estate is one of the 7 pillars of obtaining wealth. And so whether it's through home ownership or whether it's through investment, building a real estate portfolio is part of obtaining wealth. And like you said it, we weren't taught a lot about real estate in our home. And with me being a little more seasoned than these beautiful young ladies here, I was just privileged to seeing my uncles purchase buy real estate as an investment. And but it's amazing to me because I also didn't understand money and how money worked. And so I was never interested in like buying real estate, being a landlord. Right. Ugh. But sitting in the seat where I'm sitting in now, and just now starting to get my feet wet with investment, I saw it, but I didn't see it. And I wish I had have known more about it, because I may would be further along in life than I am today. And so this is why it was so important for me to bring my sisters, especially, because on talking about real estate, because there is this stigma in our community that owning a home is nearly impossible. Absolutely. And not only that, but I just know as African Americans, we lack education in so many different areas. Right. Not just real estate, been in a whole lot of areas. But when we talk about, you know, we hear people talk about generational wealth. We hear people talk about obtaining wealth. And in our community, we really think that we can't obtain wealth. Right. And this is why it was so important for me to bring you ladies on, so we can talk about both aspects of it. What is it like to start the process, but then also, what if we got a sister out there that's thinking about it or have seen other individuals or other women doing real estate and want to, you know, branch off in there. But before I go to my next question, Jessica said something that I would especially want my sisters to understand, that you and Camille started out working together. Absolutely. And this is really what Sista-to-Sista is about, because I want our viewers, my sisters out here in the community, to understand that we can complement each other and collaborate with each other. Absolutely. And there is no competition.
Same time. Absolutely. Yeah.
At all. Same time. Yeah. So I'm going to say it again. Yeah. Yep. There is no competition, sisters. Hear me when I tell you this. There's no competition. But we are a beautiful array of colors, as you can see. And we can complement each other. Right. And collaborate. Yeah. So, with that being said, and there's somebody looking right now that have the desire to buy a home, but for whatever reason, they've either believed a myth that they can't do it, or they've allowed society to make it seem impossible. Absolutely. What would, I'm going to start with Camille on this one. Okay. What would you say to that person right now?
Okay. Well, the first thing I would say is that I could absolutely relate to that. I remember when we bought our first home, I can remember having the desire to buy a home when I got my first, like, real big girl job in a school district. After graduating college and, getting a job. So, but I didn't know that I was absolutely qualified to purchase a home. And I didn't know that until I got in real estate. And had I been educated, I would have done it years prior to when we did buy. So, number one, I can relate. And number two, I would say it's a huge mindset shift when you get ready to buy a home. You got to prepare yourself. And sometimes in preparation, you find out you are absolutely ready. And sometimes you find out you aren't ready. And that's okay. You have to stick to the process. Because typically, a good lender is going to give you a game plan. And if you follow it, you'll be a homeowner.
That's so true.
It's that easy. It's not a long, drawn-out process. It's about trusting the process.
I like that. I like that. So, Jessica, what would you say?
What was the question?
You got you got a sister that's looking right now that desire to buy a home, but for whatever reason, whether it's something that she's heard or there's a myth out there, she's just petrified or doesn't even believe that she can attain real estate. What would you say to her?
First off, I would tell her pretty much, sometime you have to shut the chatter box. You have to cut it off. If this is a goal, if this is a dream, you have to believe deep down in your soul that it's obtainable first. You may not, just like Camille said, you may not get it day one. It may come 2 years later, but you have to believe that you have to believe that this blessing belongs to you, first of all. Second of all, you can't listen to everybody else. Their story may not be like your story. So you have to go sit down first with a great lender. And they're going to tell you whether or not you can get a house now or later. Your friend can't tell you that. Your mama can't tell you that. You have to go sit down with a qualified lender, somebody with some mortgage license, to tell you, hey, this is your credit score. I'm going to give you the plug right now. This is everything you need to buy a house right now. I'm just going to plug you right now. This is free. Say free. This is free game.
Free.
This is
Y'all
free.
hear that?
This is so free. First off, before you go in, I'm going to coach you real quick. Before you go in, you want to know your credit score. I tell people you want a 640 or better. Can you get a mortgage with a 580? You sure can. FHA all day long.
Yes, you can.
But do you want that? The pricing is going to be kind of high. So get you a 640. How you get a great credit score? Pay your bills on time. Keep your debt low. Keep your credit cards paid on time. Don't co-sign for nobody. Don't co-sign for nobody until you get your house. Don't get a brand new car until you get your house. Get your house first. First of all, they're gonna run your credit. So you want a 640 credit score. You want to be employed for the for 2 years. So you don't have to be on the same job for 2 years, but they're gonna look back 2 years from date to date. So you want to make sure you're on the job for 2 years. You want W-2s. They're going to want to see W-2s for the last 2 years. They're going to want to see bank statements for the last 2 years. And make sure you have funds saved. You have to have some meat in the game. Something. You can't have $2 talking about you want to buy a house. Save your money. If you have a 401k, you can tap into your 401k funds to get a home. So it's different ways that you can get a home. So you may have all these items right now and don't even know it.
Absolutely.
You may have to put the Gucci bag or the Prada bag on hold.
On hold for a minute.
Or you can't get the $600 house. You might have to sell it for the $150. Okay? Carry on.
That's right. Temporary. And those short term. So if you want this long term goal, you have to start making steps in that right direction. Just like Karen said, you probably can't go out every weekend.
Absolutely.
I used to coach my clients, hey, if this is what you want, don't get no car. That's going to mess up your DTI. If you make a certain amount and you get that $600 credit car note in there, it's going to throw off your numbers. Wait, I've had so many people call me this year, just got them, bought my house, can I get me a car? You sure can. I tell people all the time, they'll give you a car, but you have to qualify for a home.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to say that again. They'll give you a car. If you got a job, take your check stubs up there and you can get you a good car. But when you're buying a home, it's totally different. You have to qualify for that. So you just want to look good on paper. Make sure your credit score is good. Make sure you have funds in the bank. Stay at your job for 2 years, and pretty much you can get in a home. So it's possible for sure.
And I love that. And the thing about it, because Sister-to-Sista, we are talking to our women of color, and we are talking to our community, and so find you someone that you trust to tell you, because I've been taught, don't ever think that you shouldn't ask questions, because there's no such thing as a dumb question. Because if you're like me, some of us grew up in homes where our parents or our grandparents, they did what they knew, based on what their parents or their grandparents did, which was you go to work, you save your money, you put it in the bank. That's it. And of course, but you also got to remember and look at the era in which they grew up in. We're gonna keep it 100. There weren't a lot of African American people buying homes. And the ones that could, it took like an act of Congress. So for them to buy one. But we are in the 21st century.
Absolutely.
Okay? We're in the 21st century.
It's attainable.
It's attainable.
You can do it. And you should do it.
And now we're creating something other than debt or a GoFundMe.
Yes.
When something happens to our family members, now we're creating something other than a GoFundMe, or we don't have a home, or we don't have investment, because investment, like I said before, or real estate is one of the 7 pillars to wealth. Y'all hear me, right? To wealth. So not saying that you got to have 10, 15, 20, 30 pieces of real estate in your portfolio, but if you got a home,
one home, that's all it takes.
One home. That's it.
That is an investment.
That's an investment.
And you know what, Karen? I tell people, one home, that's your own personal bank. You take care of it. You build equity into it. You keep tabs on the market.
Come on.
And that's your bank. You can pull money out of that. And that's what some people don't know, too.
So true.
And so this is why especially this segment, was so important for us to tap into and to talk about, because real estate is one thing that we should all have in our portfolio at some point. If it ain't but one piece. And so now I'm going to flip it a little while, because we understand that real estate is the pathway to financial freedom. Well, now I'm going to flip the script a little bit. As real estate agents, as African American women, my beautiful black sisters, what is it like, keeping it 100, keeping it real? What is it like being a black woman in this real estate industry? Let's I like to say, let's address the elephant in the room, okay? Let's just keep it real and 100. What is it like? Because we do understand that in different industry there are challenges. What would you say, if you could give me one challenge as a sister, as a woman of color in this industry? What would that challenge, or what would you say have been or was a challenge for you, or if there was?
So one piece of data on that question you just asked is, a couple of weeks ago, I looked up some data on the National Association of Realtors. And I just randomly looked up the average realtor. The average realtor is a mid 50-year-old Caucasian female. So your question is definitely a question that has sparked a lot of interest over the years, I think, because we are seeing a lot of African American females in the real estate industry, and they're doing well.
Dominating.
Yes. When I first got into real estate, what I noticed was that the color of my skin could easily be a handicap for me, especially in a small middle Georgia community. However, I blocked that out and I just kept going. My goal was to service first-time home buyers and educate families. And that is exactly what I did. That's how I met Jessie. You can answer.
Absolutely.
Yep.
And I guess being African American, of course, you're going to always have its challenges. I don't care what industry you're in. It's always going to be, you have to get in and sometimes prove yourself. And I think we've proved ourselves.
I agree. I agree.
You know, but we came out the gate, I guess, swinging. And I would tell anybody, especially if you're African American, you have to know what you're talking about.
Yep.
Just because you're black, you're not going to get a pass. So make sure you know your stuff, first of all.
Make sure you're educated.
Yeah, make
sure you can educate
somebody else, you know.
Absolutely.
And that's how your results will come. Skin color, I tell people I'm never change that. I'm gonna always be black to the day I die.
Absolutely.
So we have to find something else to talk about, you know, because we're not gonna talk about the skin color. If I bring you a qualified buyer, that should be enough. But is it enough nowadays? A lot of times it's not. One instance, I had a buyer, qualified buyer. On paper, I mean, just a good buyer, wanted to purchase in a particular neighborhood. The property didn't have any potential other buyers, so we put in an offer. I guess they Googled trying to figure out who was who and who was who, and guess what? They denied our offer. Called the bank, the money was there, so it had the ball back down to skin color. You know, and I would want to say that we're over that hump in America, but we're not.
Absolutely.
So we have to address that. But, you know, I tell my clients all the time, what's for you is for you. Put out bid on another house, went straight through. It was what they really wanted. So at the end, they didn't lose. But we are in America, and we do see those types of things that come up.
Absolutely.
And sometimes you have to dust yourself off and keep going. You cannot let that one moment, that one transaction define you. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
And I've learned a lot. You have to coach yourself back into the game. It's hurtful that, you know, your money's not green enough.
Right.
I mean, it's
money
hurtful.
is green.
It's green, but it's not green enough. And it's hurtful at times. But I've learned that, guess what? You pray about everything, and the good thing about it is God, he sit high, he looks low, and he see everything that's going on. And I've learned that you can't take stuff personal.
Right.
You know, you just have to dust it off.
Especially in real estate. You cannot take it
Nope.
personal. It is business.
Yep.
I do feel like, as an African American female, and I don't know if you feel this way, Jessie, but I do feel like we have to sit up a little straighter. We have to dress a certain way. We have to put on a little makeup and a little lipstick so that we can almost look like we belong in a room sometimes.
Right.
I remember one time when I first got into real estate, I was a part of a certain realtor board. I went to a Christmas party. I was the only black woman at the Christmas party.
Wow.
Besides the service. The people serving us the food. So that was very eye-opening for me. That was year 2 of me being in real estate.
And I just, you know, asked that question because as an interior designer, we probably make up, I would probably say maybe 10% of the industry. And like you said, we are still living in America. And when I first went to a market, I didn't pay it any attention. But it was the second year I went. And I just started being very observant. And there were not many other designers that looked like me. And I would share one instance, and that will explain why I asked the question, because I remember going in one particular showroom and walked in, and they greet you at the door and say hello. But I remember there was some staff or representatives sitting at a table. They were just talking. And I'm just, looking around. But I was also there for one of my clients, a client that I had at the time. So I needed to buy some more things. And so I literally had to go up. Number one, nobody acknowledged that I was there.
Right.
Didn't ask me, did I need any help? And so I finally went to one of them and asked about something that I was getting ready to purchase at the market. But what was funny, they knew my name.
Wow.
They knew my business. And she was like, oh, you're Karen. Yes, because I probably had spent about $10,000 or $15,000 with them prior to market.
Right.
So, but just to say that, had they not probably looked at the dollar amount that I have seen spent, they didn't even acknowledge me. And so, and after that, they were just like, okay, well, anything else you get? Well, how was your order? Then they just started all of this dialogue. Right. And then, just leaving
so funny.
out. I told my husband, I said, what? If I didn't like their stuff, I would have walked out. Yeah. Because there was one showroom I walked in, was not acknowledged, and was getting ready to buy something. But because they did not acknowledge me, guess what I did? I walked out. Yeah. And so that's why I asked the question, because and it's not to play the race card.
Right. Absolutely.
But because we're talking to women of color, and because this podcast is about women of color, I want my sister out there to understand. I don't want the color of her skin to deter her dream if she see herself in either one of you sitting here.
Right.
But we want to prepare her for what she may face. And I like what you said. And that's in anything. We have to dress the part.
We do.
We have to talk the part.
Right.
We have to walk the part. So it's not sometimes like our counterpart. They may go, with a bun on, with a baseball cap on, with dirty sneakers. But you may have to, walk out in your stilettos, with your jeans on, with your nice blazer, with, making sure, every strand. But that's the reality of it, because should our out of appearance have anything to do with what we know as far as our education, us being the expert in a particular area? Right. No. But people form an opinion about us based on our outer appearance. And I mean, you said something that was just so profound, is that, you had to sit up,
a little bit straighter.
A little bit straighter.
Absolutely. You have to show, in our industry, unfortunately, the value you can bring to the table. You have to show that you're educated and you understand the contract. Right. And sometimes we have to do that. Right.
And so, and I just so with that being said, I want you one by one to look into the camera. If you can give a sister one strategy, one tip about tapping. Well, we're going to do this twofold. Let's go back to, we answered that one as far as home ownership, because Coach Jessica broke it down to what you need. So you can go back, match the replay, so you can, hear it again. But I want you all, before we wrap this up, I want you to look into the camera and you speak to one sister that's out there that this has been a dream of hers, that has been a desire of hers. And if you can give her one piece of advice or one tip or one strategy, what would it be? And either one of y'all can start, it doesn't matter.
I would tell my fellow sister, first off, believe in yourself. You are so deserving of this moment, and so many people want to tap into real estate. And it's so much out here for everybody.
Absolutely.
We've sold a lot of real estate. Guess what? I always tell people, what's yours is yours. What's mine is mine. So yours is out there. Go to school, get qualified. You're well able. Is math on the test? I get asked that question. Is math on the test? But you are well able to pass the math portion on the real estate exam. Believe in yourself. Go to school, just like I said, get educated. Get the license and come on and make some money with us. Make some money. It's enough.
That's right.
It's enough.
Give me some.
It's enough out here for everybody.
For all of us
We
to
can't
eat.
make it all. We don't want to make it all.
Absolutely.
It's enough for everybody to eat. So come on and get your license. So many people say, "Oh, there's so many agents out there." Well, there's gonna be plenty more agents. So you better well join the fund too. And it's enough room out here for everybody at the top. And this is just one way. It's several different ways to make money. This is not the only thing I do, real estate. So it's so many other things, but so many people want to get into real estate, and you should get into real estate. There's nothing wrong with it. Go to school, pass the exam, and we will see you out here selling houses.
Absolutely.
Right.
Come on, join us.
Come on.
So what would you say, Camille?
I think that one thing I would say to my sisters that are listening is that everything starts with the desire. You have to have a burning desire for whatever it is you want in life. I say write the vision, make it plain, and go after whatever your desires are. Cheers to 2025.
Yes. And I love it. And even though, I'm not a real estate agent, but I want to just tell my sisters, just because you see certain things on social media, don't always believe the hype, okay?
Yeah.
Don't believe everything that you see, and because one thing, people only going to show you the glamorous side of it.
Right.
You don't necessarily see the blood, sweat, and tears,
The long nights
that they put into it. The deals that fell apart.
Absolutely.
The day before closing.
Don't close.
The 100 houses you show.
Yeah, the underwriter need one more thing.
Yes.
You don't see that. Yeah.
So, I just wanted, to add that. But I want to say to you ladies, first of all, I admire y'all. I said y'all because I am from the South.
Y'all. Favorite word.
Y'all. I do. I'm so proud of, both of you all, and I say that from a place of sincerity, and I truly hope and pray that what has been said today has empowered or inspired my sister that's out there that's watching, and I like this setup too, because I am a little more seasoned. I know I don't look it, but yes, I am a little more seasoned. But I just want to continue to say to you all, keep inspiring, keep empowering, keep encouraging, keep uplifting one another, women, however, and just continue to impact and make a difference in someone else's life. And I'm going to close with, that's what we're called to do. If we can change the trajectory of one person's life,
Absolutely.
just one,
Yes.
then we've done what God has called us to do. But understand this, you're sitting here looking at two real estate agents. Jessica was also a lender, but they both have been in other industries as well. So I would say, follow your heart.
Yeah.
That thing that's burning on the inside that you can't shake. And that was one thing that I like that Camille said. And she just stepped out on faith.
Yep.
Don't allow the naysayers to stop you from either obtaining a home or being a service to others. Go after it, and So before we go, how can people get in touch with you if they wanted to connect with either one of you, or maybe both? I don't know. So, Jessica, we'll start with you.
You can find me on social media. That's the best way to find me, up under Jessie Elf. You can follow me. You can Google me. My number's all over Google for sure. So yeah, reach out to me. And if I can be of any assistance to anybody, I'm approachable. Hey, if you want to DM me, you want to call me. I don't like for people to waste my time, so I know when people are wasting my time. I don't have no time to spare. But if you're serious, if I can be any of assistance to anyone, please reach out to me, and know that pretty much I like to help people from my heart. That's who I am. So yeah, reach out to me, and hopefully we'll be chatting soon.
Absolutely. And you can find me at Camellia Hurt on Facebook, Camellia Hurt on Instagram. You can Google me, DM me, private message me, text me, call me. I too am very approachable. I hope to talk to y'all soon.
Yeah. Well, thank you. I'm so excited. And this is not going to be the only time that you'll see us or see them, because they have so many other exciting things about them. So you'll see them back. Thank you. Ooh. And good night.
Good night.
Thank you again for joining us today in today's episode. I hope and I pray that something was said that will allow you to begin to create your own pathway to your financial freedom. Investing in real estate is your key to wealth. So, like, share with another sister. Subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you on our next episode. This episode is sponsored by Karina's Design Studio and Showroom